Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter statistics. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? Here I am on grade 9 math. Let's just start with the chapter statistics. Let's just start. Okay, Bob surveyed the first two shoppers at the market. Is the sample of the shoppers at the market likely to be biased? So, Bob surveyed the first two shoppers at the market. Since shoppers who arrive early might not be the same as the shoppers who arrived late, right? So, it is likely to be biased sample, right? That means the one who arrive early are not the same as the one who might arrive late, right? So that means the sample is biased, right? The other example is Dean pooled 200 people throughout each city in his country. Each city is the same size. Is the sample of the residents of the city in the country likely to be biased? So he just picked 200 people from each city, right? So that means some items or some people likely to be chosen than others. And Dean divided the residents into equal size group by city and then chose an equal number of residents. So that means it is a representative data. This is not a biased data, right? The correct option is it isn't biased, it is representative data, right? Let's just start with the okay, the first one is Joseph put the names of all students in the school into a hat. Then he draw hold on. Then he drew 50 names out of the hat. Is the sample of the students is likely to be biased? So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? The correct option is no, because he just selected 50 names out of the hat, right? So some of the names are have more chances to be chosen, right? So the correct option is this isn't the biased data. The correct option is no, right? Okay, the next one is to review for the final. Irma did 7 random problems from each assignment in her class. Each assignment had an equal number of problems. Is this sample of the problems assigned in the class likely to be biased? So, which is the correct option? She selected the seven problems randomly, right? So, there is chances some of the problems can be selected, have more option to be chosen, right? So, the correct option is no, this isn't the biased data. The correct option is no, right? Jaffrey surveyed 307 business owners in the city. Is the sample of the city is the sample of the people in the city likely to be biased? So the correct option is yes. Because in a biased sample, some people or items are more likely to be chosen than others, right? So business owners might not be similar to the one in the other city. It is likely to be biased data. The correct option is yes, it is biased data. The correct option is yes, it is biased. Elizabeth pooled the first 72 attendees at the concert. Is this sample of the concert attendees likely to be biased? The correct option is yes, it is biased data. The correct option is yes. Kendall surveyed a total the first 47 celebrities to arrive at the movie premiere. Is this sample is the sample of celebrity likely to be biased, which is the correct option? Yes, it is because he have chosen just 47 celebrities, right? So in a biased sample, some people or items are more likely to be chosen than others. So the correct option is yes, it is. Relay spoke with 42 donors who gave the most money. Is the sample of the donors likely to be biased? Which is the correct option? Yes, it is right. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is identify an outlier and describe the effect of removing it. Okay, so you are given the an example. Let's just start with the example. Select the outlier in the given data. The numbers are 35, 47, 49, 51, 52, 62, and 549, right? So an outlier in extreme value in the data set, right? That is either much larger or much smaller than all the other values, right? So there is no specific formula defining outliers. However, they are still important to understand when performing a statistical analysis. Just one outlier can have a drastic effect on certain number of numbers calculated from the dataset, such as the mean or standard deviation, right? So to find the outlier, you have to look for the either value that is much larger or the one that is much smaller, right? So here you can see all the numbers are two digit numbers 35, 47, 49, 51, 62. But that last one, 549, that is in the hundreds and much more bigger than the rest of the values, right? So that means that is the outlier. If you calculate the mean without 549, right, you find it to be the less than the original number. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. We are going to learn what are the outliers and how they affect the data. So let's just start with the first example. Select the outlier of the in the data set 8, 66, 68, 79, 83, 85, 87, and 97. If the outlier were removed from the data set, would the mean increase or decrease? So first you have to identify the outlier. Which is the outlier here? 8 is the outlier, right? Because the rest of the digits are the two digit numbers, right? They start from 66 and until 97. So 8 is too small and one digit number. 8 is the outlier. So 8 is the smallest of the other numbers. That means if you remove the 8, the mean is increased. The correct option is increased because you have now bigger numbers. So the mean is increased. If the outlier is the smallest number and you are removing the smallest number from the data, definitely mean will increase, right? Because you removed a smaller number. And if the outlier is the greatest number, you are going to remove the greatest one. That means obviously mean is decreased, right? So in this case, it is increased. Select the outlier in the data set 5, 74, 76, 79, 86, 93, 94, 96, and 99. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increase or decrease? Yes, 5 is the mean here. The rest of the numbers are the two digit numbers, right? And if you remove the 5 because 5 is the smallest number, that means obviously the mean is increased. Got it? So you are removing 5, that means the mean is increased. The correct option is increase, right? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, yes. The next one is select the outlier in the data set 17, 25, 37, 47, 54, 60, 78, and 216. So if the outlier were removed from the data set, would the mean increased or decreased? So first thing is you have to identify the outlier. So which is the outlier here? 216 is the outlier, right? And 216 is the greatest number among all. That means if you remove 263, obviously the mean is decreased. The correct option is the mean is decreased. Got it? Select the outlier in the given dataset. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increase or decrease? So, which is the correct option? The outlier is 567, right? That is the greatest number among all. If you remove the decreased, the correct option is decreased. Select the outlier in the dataset. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increase or decrease? Which is the correct option? The correct option is decreased, it is, right? The mean is decreased. Select the outlier in the dataset. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increased or decreased? Which is the correct option? The correct option is decreased, it is, right? Because the outlier is a greater number. 691 is the outlier. So then obviously it is decreased because you removed 691, so the mean is decreased. Select the outlier in the dataset. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increase or decrease? The mean is increased, right? Because the outlier is a smaller number. If you remove the smaller number, the mean is increased. The rest of the numbers are greater than 7, so the mean is. Select the outlier in the dataset. If the outlier were removed from the dataset, would the mean increase or decrease? So, which is the correct option? Outlier is a bigger number, 392, right? So, when you remove 392, that means obviously the mean is decreased, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next one is identify an outlier. So we already know how to identify an outlier, right? Because outlier is the number that is either the greater one, the greatest than the other numbers, or either the smallest, right? Right. So let's start with the first example. Select the outlier in the data set. So you have to look for the value that is either much larger or much smaller than all the other values, right? So if you look at the data set given carefully, the numbers are 10, 14, 18, 23, 35, 37, 42, 56, and 763, right? 763 is the data set, right? Because that is an extreme value that is much larger than the other numbers. The other numbers are the two-digit numbers, but 763 is a three-digit number, and also it is much greater than the rest of the values, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Select the outlier in the data set, which is the correct option. Yes, that's the one we did on the tutorial, right? The outlier is 763, that is the greatest number among the all. Select the outlier in the data set, which is the correct option. That is 663 is the outlier, right? Because that is the greatest number among the other one. The other ones are just two-digit numbers, so 763 is the outlier. Sorry, 663 is the outlier. Select an outlier in the data set. So which is the correct option? Yes, that is 215 is the outlier. Select the outlier in the data set. So which is the correct option? Yes, that is 282, because 282 is the three-digit number and that is the greatest value among the also. Outlier is 282. Yes, 834 is the outlier because 834 is the greatest number among the other one, right? So the correct option is 834. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is the next one is interpret a scatter plot. Let's just start with the next lesson, that is interpret a scatter plot. Okay, does this scatter plot shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? Right. First, you have to understand what are the positive trend, negative trend, and no trend. Right. Positive trend means as the x values are increasing, the y values are also increasing. Right. So as x values are increasing and y values are also increasing, that means the graph shows the positive trend, right? So just look at the given graph. You can see here is the x values. No, I haven't clicked on the test button. Okay, here is the x values. The x values are increasing from 0 to 7, right? Just look at the y values. The y values are also increasing. Here is the point, and now here is the point. So the x values and the y values are increasing. That means the graph shows a positive trend, right? So if it is otherwise, like one of the values increasing but the other one is decreasing, that would be the negative trend, right? And the no trend is the one when you don't have, when you have so many scattered point but the ones they are not in the. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, does this scatter plot shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? Which is the correct option? Same, the one we just did on the tutorial, right? That means as the x value increasing, the y values are also increasing, right? So that means the graph shows the positive trend. The correct option is positive trend. Okay, does the scatter plot show a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? Which is the correct option? Okay, just look at the graph. The x values are increasing, right? Here you have, when you started the values, you have started from here and the x values are increasing. Now you are at the 10. And but the y values are decreasing. They are here, now they are getting decreased and they are now here. So that means the graph shows a negative trend because one of the quantity is decreasing. So that means the graph shows the negative trend. Got it? The correct option is negative trend. It is. Does this scatter plot show a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is negative trend because x values are increasing but y values are decreasing. So that means the graph shows the negative trend. The correct option is negative trend, right? Does the scatter plot shows a positive trend and negative trend or no trend, which is the correct option? The graph shows the positive trend. The correct option is positive trend. Does the graph shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? So, which is the correct option? The graph shows the positive trend. The correct option is positive trend. Does the scatter plot show a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? So, which is the correct option? But you can see here you have so many scattered plots, right? So the graph shows no trend, right? Because the you have the points all over the graph, so that means the graph shows no trend. The correct option is no. Does this scatter plot show a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? So which is the correct option? The correct option is positive trend. It is right. Does this scatter plot shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? Which is the correct option? The graph shows positive trend. The correct option is positive trend, right? Does the scatter plot shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend, which is the correct option? No trend, right? You can see the points are scattered all over the graph, so that means no trend. Does the scatter plot shows a positive trend, a negative trend, or no trend? The graph shows the negative trend, right? Because the x values are increasing but the y values are decreasing, so that means the graph shows the negative trend. Got it? Okay, we are done with the lesson. Okay, so we were working on grade 9 math. The chapter we were working on is statistics. The lessons we have covered are identify by samples, identify an outlier and describe the effect of removing it, identify an outlier, interpret a scatter plot, right? So please show before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? So if you have any questions related to the lessons we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? No questions? Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.